Mental training involves using sports psychology tools and techniques to train your mind. On the surface, this may seem strange or even intimidating, but I want you to think of it just like any other form of training. We start with skills that you want to build, choose which tools and exercises will help you build them, and then you're going to create a plan and routine to put the tools into action. Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, mental performance coach and the founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. Now, before we get into the video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you're an athlete looking to improve your mental game. I put out new videos each day on sports psychology and mental training. When you add mental training to your routine, you want to be strategic with the tools and techniques that you choose. This is where it becomes important to know what mental skills you're wanting to build. A common term used in relation to mental training and sports psychology is going to be mental toughness. That term may be the very reason you're interested in getting started with training your mindset as an athlete. Now, there's a good reason for this association. When you train your mind, you build mental toughness. But mental toughness can also seem like kind of a vague idea. So for now, I want you to not worry about building mental toughness. The reason being, mental toughness is the end result. What you want to focus on are all the small mental skills that make up a mentally tough athlete. Mental skills are the parts to the whole, with the whole being you becoming mentally tough. So what are the mental skills that make you a mentally strong player? They're going to include self-confidence, focus, resilience, so bouncing back from mistakes, a strong self-image, calming your nerves, and then self-management, so managing your thoughts and your feelings. By focusing on building these mental skills, you can trust that as a result of that, mental toughness will be developed. Now, the main goal of this video is to uncover why using mental training to develop mental skills is going to help you as an athlete. Well, it all comes down to the mind-body connection. The truth is, the mind and body are intricately connected when it comes to you performing at your highest level. It will be very difficult for you to play well if you constantly doubt yourself, for example. And this is going to be true no matter how talented you are. With mental training, you turn your mind into an asset rather than having your mind be a liability. And so what I want to do to really illustrate just how mental training can help you as an athlete is tell the stories of 3 athletes that I've worked with and how mental training really helped them. So the first story is of a college basketball player. When I first began working with him and he came to me, he was struggling with high levels of sports performance anxiety. Basketball had become a drag and he really dreaded going to practices, and he was very fearful during games. Now, how much fun do you think he was having? Not very much fun at all. The anxiety had taken all of the fun out of the game for him. Now, as we were examining why he was anxious, I realized it involved a combination of what he was focused on going into the game, and then also what he thought about during the game. And this is going to be very common among all athletes with performance anxiety. They are worried about the future. And so with mental training, all of that changed for this basketball player. We pieced together a daily routine for him to use, along with a pregame routine that is really worked to narrow his focus, calm his nerves, and also increase his confidence going into games. As a result, not only did his anxiety decrease, but his performance level increased, as did his enjoyment. Now, the next story I want to share involves a young baseball player weighed down by self-doubt. He had a lot of talent, but he couldn't shake the fears that were really holding him back during a game. And the more he doubted himself, the less fun he had while playing. With him, I used a combination of daily exercises for him to do, such as repeating self-talk statements, along with a pre-at-bat routine, since most of his doubt centered around hitting. Within his pre-at-bat routine, he used visualization to get himself thinking more about playing well and succeeding, rather than striking out and being afraid, more importantly, of striking out. As our work continued, his confidence grew, and most importantly, he really began enjoying the game more. And then the last story involves mistakes. Specifically, how a soccer player was able to reframe the way that she looked at mistakes, allowing her to actually change the way that she played. This high school soccer player was dealing with a lot of fear and anxiety while playing. But the main challenge that she dealt with, and where all the other mental blocks really came from, was getting too frustrated at herself following a mistake. Now, it's no surprise that mistakes are not going to be fun at all. But the most important thing after you make a mistake is putting yourself in a good position to make the next play. You can't do anything about the mistake that you just made, but you can either help or hurt your chances of playing well moving forward. For her, she was hurting her chances with one mistake typically turning into many more mistakes during a game. With the mental training that we used, she was able to change that. We use a technique to let go of mistakes in the moment and then also help her refocus. In addition to that, using a post-game evaluation system, she reframed the way that she looked at mistakes. These tools led her to start reacting differently to mistakes, which meant that she played with less fear and anxiety since she wasn't as worried and fearful anymore about making mistakes. They had turned from something to fear into something she could use to learn and improve as a player. The 3 stories I just outlined highlight how mental training can help you as an athlete. Your mental skills will improve, your physical play is going to increase, and so will your enjoyment in your sport. Now, if you're ready to take the next steps and begin making use of mental training for yourself, what can you do? Well, there are a few ways that you can get started. One is going to be on your own. You can figure out for yourself what mental skills you want to work on and the best mental training tools to use. If this is a path you'd like to take, I have a few resources that can help, including mental training articles, more YouTube videos, and also a sports psychology podcast. So I've linked those resources in the description below. Another option is a course. I offer 2 mental training courses that are broken up by age group. The first is the Mentally Tough Kid for athletes ages 9 to 13, and the second is Mental Training Advantage for athletes ages 14 and over. Links to learn more about both courses are in the description below. And the third option is one-on-one mental coaching. This is where I will work with you directly to identify your mental blocks and create a custom mental game plan to build mental skills, which are going to then build mental toughness. To learn more about one-on-one coaching, click the link that's in the description below.